There's a moment in every car deal that nobody talks about. It doesn't happen during the test drive, and it sure as heck doesn't happen during the numbers. It happens before the addendum appears. You actually feel the shift in the air. The customer leans back an inch in their seat, the consultant leans forward an inch, and suddenly both are bracing for something neither of them really actually want. And it's not because of your addendum, it's how we're introducing it. Today, we're going to fix that. Welcome to AutoKnerd. My name is Andrew Sardone. I've been in the automotive industry as a trainer for 20 plus years. My job is to help you out with tons of different stuff. I give away free tools every week to make you the best possible version of yourself on the sales floor every single day. So please do me a solid. Click that subscribe button down below. Share the video with somebody that it might help. And if you have questions, leave some down in the comments, and I'm always checking them and will be around to help you out as I can. So let's get into it. Here's what the data tells us. 67% of Americans do not trust dealership pricing. Can you blame them? 84% believe transparency is lacking at most stores, and fewer than half return to buy the same brand again. And it's not because the car's changed. It's actually something much more simple. It's because of the feeling change, the vibe changed. You see, surprises kill trust. Predictability actually builds it. You can prepare for the future. And nothing feels like more of a surprise than a consultant quietly sliding the addendum across the desk as though it's some sort of parking ticket that is just going to cause an argument. The addendum clarity tool that we built for this week hopefully will help you get over that hump of introducing something like the addendum, because some stores out there have a crazy high addendum, and there is actually an effective way of getting over this and getting the customer to pay that while you also make yourself a decent paycheck. Because here at AutoNerd, our principle is simple: happy people buy more stuff. Happy people say yes sooner, and happy people pay much higher commissions. I've watched thousands of consultants, and one really sticks out in my mind because he fulfilled the definition of what we're going to talk about today. I watched a consultant, really good guy, freeze up mid deal. And he's been in the business a very long time. He turned over his worksheet as though it was just some normal task that he would do, almost like a presentation. But I realized that the drama that he was putting on was because he didn't ask the pertinent questions of his management team. He would come out every single time, put the paper down on the desk, and flip it over as though he never even looked at it. All of a sudden, every single time while looking over at him, he looked like he was explaining the dent on the vehicle that just got pulled out of wash that he had no business ever actually making, but yet he was taking fault for it. His tone would drop, his shoulders would rise up, he would get very tense, and then he'd mutter something dumb like, "They make us put this on here," as though the customer cares in the first place. And like clockwork, humans do what humans are going to do. The customer's face tightened up. Trust instantly evaporated, and a perfectly happy conversation that they were having turned into a debate that neither one of them even wanted to debate in the first place. But here's the secret: the customer wasn't objecting to the addendum, they were objecting to the fear signal. The consultant telegraphed discomfort, and humans are basically big radio antennas. We mirror the actions of the other person that we're working with. So the human brain follows the tone before it follows the facts. This consultant ended up digging himself a massive hole. You see, customers aren't scared of addendums. They're scared of the surprise and the confusion, the pressure that's related to them. And these are the three things that the human brain is quite literally wired to defend itself against. When you bring up the addendum late, customers start asking themselves questions that fall into the area of shock and confusion and fear. Like, is this something new? Have you been hiding this from me? What else am I not seeing? Should I be pushing back at this point? But when you bring up the addendum early in a warm and predictable manner, the brain relaxes. It says, I got this. It makes sense. I know what's happening. That's the power of the three move pattern that we built on into this week's tool. Move one, it's called the warm frame. The warm frame is an emotional steering wheel for yourself and the customer. And it's about introducing the concept early, kind of like this. Before I go too far, I want to be very clear about everything. Every vehicle here comes with our package. This warm frame lowers the guard, and by lowering the guard, it helps you maintain, if not heighten, trust. Move two is a simple value map. It keeps things clean, keeps things plain, no sales jargon, no sales voice. Human to human, here's what it includes: think of this as that you want to display this as a value the customer can visualize, not something that is going to just simply ignite a fight. And you sure as heck don't want to look at them and go, yes, this is $2,400 in pinstriping. That's just going to tick the person off. And of course, they're simply going to go away. So it needs to be introduced early and it needs to be introduced in a professional manner. Now, on to move three. Move three is confidence transfer. Your tone becomes their tone. My goal is to make everything predictable for you. If you want to slow down or look closer, I'm here for that. Predictability is emotional currency in modern retail these days. Customers don't want hype anymore. You see this in your Google reviews and your surveys. They're looking for emotional safety now. And this move gives them the ability to do that and you the ability to set the stage in a proper manner that allows them to know that you can partner with them and be able to show them a vehicle that they like later on and not have this become a big deal. Now, conversely, something pretty interesting happens on the other end when people don't know any better. I watched a brand new sales consultant hit the showroom floor, and after 3 days of training, she was struggling. She didn't really know the system, she didn't know the psychology behind it. She just spoke with clarity and she didn't overthink the process. And when she spoke to people, she just spoke to them simply as though they're just other human beings. She would say, hey, before we start numbers, I want everything to feel predictable to you about this addendum. The model has our protection package on it, and I'll show you what it includes when we go on inside. The customer wasn't shocked. This was very early on when they were standing next to the car. The customer nodded, and that was pretty much it. There wasn't any pushback, there wasn't any tension, there wasn't any discount request at any point during the deal. And this was because she never transferred fear. She only would transfer confidence. And that positivity allowed the customer to go, yeah, I'm in the right place. This is going to work because that fear, that mirroring of that emotion never happened. And this matters for your business too. Surprise trigger defenses, they trigger discount conversations, and discounts erode gross profit and provide a lot of tension when it comes to your CSI, basically by tanking it because you're about to have an argument with the customer. But building up a strong foundation and introducing clarity early builds trust, and trust builds flow. And flow builds movement, and movement closes deals. And this is where we have to be. Having the customer in a relaxed mindset that gives them the ability to simply say yes. So picture this, a customer walks into your store tomorrow, they don't know the process, and they don't know the pricing, and they don't know you. They walk in hoping someone will finally talk to them like a human being and not a transaction or a product. Somewhere in the middle of that deal, there will be this moment, a small, quiet one right before the addendum page. And what happens in that moment? It's completely up to you. But know this, if you lead with fear, they feel it. If you lead with clarity, they relax. If you lead with confidence, they follow. If you lead with all three of these moves, the wireframe, the simple value map, the confidence transfer, you will change the emotional temperature of every single person that you bump into and start bumping up those grosses in your deals. It's not just for this deal, it's for every single deal that follows. As you give it some time and you practice it, you'll find that you can build this into everything. This is how we build trust. This is how we build great customer experiences. And it's also how the modern sales consultant wins. So, everybody, thank you for listening to this podcast. Down in the show notes, you will find the link to the tool for this week that helps you navigate this area when addendums become incredibly tough. Please do me a solid, click that share button, click that subscribe button. Helps me help you. And if you do have questions, please drop those in the chat, and I'm always happy to help. This is Andrew Sardone from AutoKnerd signing off. Have a great one.